Hey guys, welcome back to Heal, Survive, and Thrive. Before we dive in, I know many of you are struggling with moving on from a breakup. If that sounds like you, my breakup recovery course is designed to help you heal step by step. Let's get out of this breakup phase of life and start getting into really rebuilding your confidence in honestly all areas of your life. Right now, you can get 50% off using my code SPRING at checkout. I'll put the links down below. Don't wait any longer. Start your healing today. The links are below. So let's talk about today something that many people are frustrated with, and why does it just take so long to meet the right person? You're probably wondering, why does it have to be this hard? Why does it feel like everyone else is finding their perfect match except for me? Why do I constantly see people madly in love and I'm still single? Or maybe you just feel stuck in a pattern of just attracting the wrong type of people over and over again. And trust me, I get it. I think we all get it because we've all been there at one point in our life, and it does seem more magnified when we have come out of a really tough relationship. We are working on ourselves, we're doing all the things right, and it just seems like nothing's really happening. And it's very easy to get discouraged, especially when it seems like you're doing all the right things, but you're still not meeting that person, or you're just not meeting that person who's a good fit for you. Here's the truths that I think sometimes we all need to remember is that it's not random. There are reasons why it does take a little longer. I hated having to accept that concept and really digest that, but everything does have its time and its place. But I think we put so much emphasis on finding that person that we're missing out on life. There is a saying, when you least expect it, it happens. And that saying exists for a reason. So I want to start with really the biggest reasons that I don't want to even say maybe you're blocking it, but the reasons why this may not be happening for you as quickly as you would want it to. First thing is really your subconscious beliefs about yourself. And I have to be honest, this is where if you're really working on yourself, you're going to start to feel a little bit better about yourself. Of course, you're increasing your self-confidence. You're working on self-worth, like your self-esteem, all the selves. You're working really, really hard. But I'll be honest with you, you attract what you believe you deserve. That's it. So if deep down you believe that you really don't deserve that love that you really want, or if you're carrying unhealed wounds from the past, those are things that are 100% going to be a blocker for you. And that's exactly what is happening and why you keep attracting the same people over and over again. So you kind of have to listen to all of it and really assess, okay, which of these things are the things that I struggle with the most? I see this a lot with people who are in cycles of attracting emotionally unavailable people or just straight up toxic partners. If you haven't done that internal work to really heal from past relationships, you're more likely to fall into the same patterns and attract the same people who aren't aligned with what you truly want. And this is where, especially in the breakup recovery course, and I used to do it in a course that I offered for years called 9 Weeks to Emotional Healing. And a lot of the stuff that's in that course is in the breakup recovery course that we're doing, because understanding your past is essential. Like, you have to know the stuff that's going on inside of you in order for you to understand your patterns, your triggers, your insecurities. So if you have honestly just been feeling stuck, it might be time to look more inward and say, okay, what is going on inside of me? What have I been through? And how have those experiences, those people really dictated, how have they impacted me? How have they changed me for good and for bad? What do I really believe I deserve in relationships? And you can kind of even take a little inventory on the things that you've put up with in relationships and how to some extent you thought those things were normal. This is why doing healing work is really critical to finding the right person. So people just think I can just find the right person without doing any work on myself whatsoever. And it really starts with changing how you see yourself and your own self-worth. And this is something that we, of course, can work on together. If you're interested, I always link all of my private coaching down below, because if you're really tired, really, really tired, and everyone gets tired and frustrated, but you have to very, very much hit a pain point where you are not going to accept what you've been accepting any longer. Like, you have made the switch in your mind. You are not the same person anymore. And you know, hey, yeah, I've been attracting the wrong people. And you know it's time to really heal those old wounds. Private coaching is the perfect next step. In our sessions, one of the things that I always do with clients is we work together to really uncover those hidden beliefs. And I think sometimes we don't realize that we have hidden beliefs. These are negative beliefs, faulty beliefs, things that we've carried with us from everything that we have been through, and helping you to understand those beliefs and rebuild your own confidence so you can start attracting the right kind of love that you actually want. That's what needs to happen. Those are kind of like the 1, 2, 3s that really need to happen. So if you really want to stop wasting your time, I urge you, and you want to move forward and you want to find the love of your life, I urge you to click the links below and definitely book a session today. But the second thing is, are you repeating these unconscious patterns? So another reason it feels like it takes forever to meet the right person is that you may unconsciously be repeating the same patterns in one relationship to the next. They're not going to be identical, but they're going to be similar patterns. And this is the tricky part, is that, like I just said, they're not identical, so they may look different, but the pattern is still there. This happens when you don't fully address the unresolved emotional baggage from the previous relationships that you've been through. You're just carrying the same stuff from one relationship to the next. So for example, you might have a fear of abandonment. So you attract people who just reinforce that fear by maybe being distant or unavailable, or you might have low self-esteem, and that causes you to accept less than a healthy relationship just to avoid being alone. These are the patterns, and that's just 2 examples, but these are the patterns that can keep you stuck in the same loops over and over again. And it can feel like no matter what you do, the right person never comes along. And this is where people will say, I'm doing all the work and like nothing's changing. This is really why. It's because they think they're working really hard, and bless your heart for doing everything that you're doing, but there are still gaps that you don't even know are there. So when you start recognizing your own patterns, you begin to break free from them because you understand what the patterns are. And once you're free, that's when the right person can actually come into your life. The other thing is not being really ready for the right person. And look, we have to all be honest with ourselves. You know, day 1 after my divorce, I was really not ready to meet the right person. So you may be thinking, you know, you're ready for love, you're ready for a relationship, but sometimes you're not truly ready yet for the right person, and we do have to wait. And it's not because you need to be perfect for the right person, but it could be that there's another area of your life that you need to really get in shape, so to speak, before that person can come into your life. So what do I mean by all of this? Well, let's say you've been through a really tough breakup or are still healing from this past relationship. If you haven't done that emotional work to heal and to honestly grow and to learn from what it is that you've been through and to change because of those experiences that you've been through, you may not be in the best place to meet the right person, the person that you say you really want, because you're still emotionally unavailable or you're still carrying around emotional baggage. When you're truly ready for the right person, you're coming from a place of wholeness. If you're whole, you're happy. There is no lack. There is no fear. There is nothing really missing. You can, of course, want things, but those things that you want don't really dictate your happiness. They're just things that you want. So you're not looking for someone to fix you or complete you. You're looking for someone who adds value to your already full life. If you're finding it difficult to meet the right person, you need to take a step back and ask yourself if you're really emotionally ready to welcome in healthy love into your life. And what is your level of being healthy? How healthy are you? We all like to think we're the best communicators. We all like to think we're the healthiest. No one wants to admit all of their flaws and all of the things that they have to work on. But You really have to be honest with yourself when you're doing this. The other thing that I think is incredibly important, and this is where no amount of work really dictates this, is honestly just timing and alignment. And sometimes the reason it takes forever to meet the right person is simply because the timing is just not right. Like I said, it doesn't have to do with you being perfect. It might have to do with other areas of your life that need more focus than the relationship piece. Maybe you're focused on building your career, or you're working on your own personal growth, and that's totally fine, and you're healing your stuff, and you're just working on cultivating like a good life. These are all great things that can prepare you for the right person, but they may also really kind of delay meeting the right person. So when you are doing any area of your life, or if you're focusing on an area of your life, you have to accept that, while I do really want this partner, I have to really focus on this area first. I really believe that it took me 4 years because in those 4 years, I believe that I was supposed to be building this business, which is what I started to do, and being with my son, Ryan. That was it. I really believe that that was just the focus in my mind constantly. And there were times, for as much as I thought I was open to a relationship, I really wasn't, because I really didn't have anything to give at that point. Even though it was something that I really wanted, it wasn't something that I knew I was ready for. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You don't have to be constantly looking for the right person. And sometimes that can actually be the thing that is holding you back. It's you're so obsessively looking that you're not enjoying the rest of your life. It's like, I want this thing so bad and I'm so eager, and you're not in the flow of life. So often when you stop looking and focus on yourself, that's when the right person actually just shows up. And why does that happen? It happens because your energy changes. You're not obsessively looking because there is no more lack or fear in your life. There's just, I'm enjoying my life, and all of a sudden everything starts flowing a lot easier. It's like I've just let go, and I trust that it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And in the meantime, I'm just going to have a great old time. That's when it really starts happening. But also sometimes people just, like I said, they aren't ready for each other. And it's not even you. You could be ready, but the person that's supposed to come may not be ready. And it's funny because when I look back, those 4 years that I was single, my partner was still in a marriage. He hadn't gotten divorced yet. So that person was not ready for me. It may just, for one person or both, it needs to be a particular moment in time where two people meet and that they're both ready. And that's not a reflection of you or your worth. It's just about being in the right place emotionally, mentally, physically, where you meet someone who's truly aligned with you. What you can do to kind of start changing maybe the cycle, if you are in a cycle of this, is if you're feeling really frustrated, what can I do to change the cycle? And really start meeting the right people. If you really want to know what it is, I'm going to give you 3 things. Number 1, you have to focus on your own growth. And that doesn't mean, oh my God, I'm not perfect. I have to work on myself so I'm impeccable for when I meet this person. It's not necessarily what I'm talking about. When you work on yourself, whether it's emotionally, mentally, or physically, you naturally attract higher quality people. I think we can all agree with that. So the more you do focus on yourself, the more you start cultivating a healthier life for yourself, the more you are not so eager to link up with someone, to meet someone. You're starting to create that full life. And so focusing on your growth is not, oh my God, I'm flawed. Oh my God, I'm wounded and I need to heal myself. It could be part of it. But the other part is just learning how to cultivate your own life that feels happy, that feels full, regardless of whoever comes in. Number 2 is you have to recognize your own patterns. You need to start identifying any negative patterns you've been repeating and really commit to changing them. And that's where, working one-on-one with me will do. It is very, very hard sometimes for ourselves to recognize our own patterns. It is helpful for an outside person to be able to hear your story, your struggles, and see the patterns and offer their suggestions of like, look, I see this, or, sometimes you tend to do this. And for you to be able to go, oh my God, you're right. And then you're going to actually change it, which is even harder than just being able to acknowledge it. Number 3, you can't rush it. I'm sorry, but you just can't rush it. You have to be patient. The right person will come when the timing is right for the both of you, but you have to be ready too. And so doing these 3 things, you will be ready for that person. And remember, it's not about finding someone to complete you. I think we all know that by now, but it is about meeting someone who complements your already amazing self and your already amazing life that you have. I hope that this episode that helps you to really understand why it sometimes takes longer. And I don't want you to give up, and I don't want you to be frustrated, but I want you to remember that it is all about timing. It's about your personal growth and being ready for a healthy relationship. If you're still struggling and want support with moving forward, don't forget to check out my breakup recovery course. The links are down below. 50% off right now. You can use the code SPRING down below. Or if you're ready to really go deeper and get more personalized support, I'm always available. Private coaching is available right now. We're on a wait list for a little while, but we're not anymore. So that's great. Thanks for listening, you guys. And as always, I want you to remember your worth, remember your value, remember who you are. You will get everything you want. You just have to take the time to do what you need to do in order to get there. I wish you guys all the best. I'll see you in the next one.